Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for game number 1 between Nemiga and Team Unique for the Dota 2 Champions League 2021 to 2022. And we're still in the group stages, still, I think, probably 5 more days of groups still to come. And Nemiga and Team Unique are both tied at the moment. I think they both got 3 wins, 3 losses so far. So either one of these teams are now looking to try and take the lead over the other and just give themselves a little bit more of a secure position moving forwards in the groups and just try and secure like an early guarantee of making it to the playoffs. As I'm pretty sure there's still a chance they get knocked out. I don't know if it's just for seed at the moment. It'd be weird if it was. I think it is. You actually, these groups the groups will decide if you get to go to the playoffs or not. We'll wait and see. I'll actually check after this. Probably should have already. Well. Even still, Team Unique starting off by banning the Bloodseeker and the Invoker. Meanwhile, Nemiga removing the Pangolier. And, I mean, some of the other main picks here so far from Unique are like the Rubik, the Tide, the Clinks. So it could be one of those. Obviously, they're not like super high in the meta at the moment. Maybe they might just ban the Keeper of the Light. He's just another one of those heroes which a lot of teams have been picking up and been able to use so effectively. Like, even from the position 5 role, a lot of calls just do so much work that they end up out farming a lot of calls most of the time. And it is the gold ban. Not going to make an appearance that game, but they do immediately snap up the Lena, as that was the hero to make it through the first stage of the bans. Normally she does get taken out by one of the 2 teams, but obviously she survives. And both teams have actually been picking up the Lena a lot as well, so not too surprised about seeing that hero. We'll see what Nemiga got to spawn with though. They've got the double pick now, so they could maybe go for the Omni Knight Sven combo, go for that like big strength amplification play. And it looks like that might be what they've got going here. They picked up the Omni Knight, but they've not snap picked the Sven. So maybe they're reconsidering it. Because if you had that, if that's what you wanted to do, you would have just immediately gone bang bang, pick your 2 heroes, job done. But they are actually considering this now if they want to go for something else. But no, they will settle back. They'll go in for the Sven. They don't want to try anything new today. They're just going to stick with what they know and what works. And Sven has a very strong win rate so far in this current patch. Like when I was casting the games the other day, any team who had a Sven ended up winning. So not that that's saying too much, but he is a very strong hero. And there is another strong hero as well that's making quite a lot of appearances in this current meta of the Night Stalker. Just even being played on like a support role. You just send him on top of like opposing supports or saves and everything, keep him silenced up for like 7 seconds, and just allow the rest of your team to try and do as much damage as possible in that amount of time. So yeah, very meta stuff coming out so far from both of these 2 teams. We'll see what they can start banning out for the next phase. I wouldn't be too surprised if Nemiga did like ban out the Rubik and the Tide, because they are the most picked heroes from Unique in this current patch. I mean, I'm kind of surprised about the Rubik. They grabbed it 6 times. They've only won 50% of their games. So it's not like they have the best win rate with it. But maybe it's just worth banning. Seems out it's a hero which obviously Team Unique feel comfortable drafting. And just maybe force them out there to comfort a little bit. Might not feel too bad. But then mind you, if you don't have any big skills that you don't really care about Rubik stealing, then there's no point wasting the ban on it. I mean, so far, Omni Knight Sven, not really worth picking up a Rubik for. Which is another strong reason about going for this opener. And I did have that cursor bug again. Look, it's just sat there in the bottom left corner. God, man. These bugs are everywhere. What is with it? It's so annoying. Absolutely everywhere. But yeah, Team Unique banning out the Tiny as well as the Beastmaster. Beastmaster, yeah, he's pretty common second phase ban as well, because he still works quite nicely with going for the Helm of the Overlord build. Similar to the Lycan, I think the Beastmaster does just work better because of the aura passive that he has, just buffs it up a little bit. But even still, Team Unique just want to make sure that that strategy does not make an appearance, removing both of those heroes there. As I'm sure it would have been one that the chosen one would have liked to play with, but anyway, it gets taken out. Nemiga, obviously they've banned out the Shadow Demon as well as the Slark. Slark always pretty strong playing up against the Sven, just able to avoid all of his physical damage hits with your ultimate and try and steal as many of his stats as you possibly can. to try and actually hinder his effectiveness. So it's always a strong counter to the hero. A lot of times teams ban out like a PL as well when they've got a Sven on their team, just so the PL can't just like drain all of the Sven's mana in a second and just like limit his maneuverability in the fights quite severely. But maybe they've got something else in mind, because they are really thinking about this right now. I decided to remove the Luna. It's another hero which people feel comfortable playing up against the Sven. It's not like she's a big counter to him, but she can sort of stand her own ground and just try and deal as much DPS as possible whilst it's getting smacked into. Still, Nemiga making sure they're not going to face that opponent in this game. So far, the most picked hero, position 1 carry hero for Team Unique, sorry, is actually the Clinks, but playing up against the Sven, Clinks would just feel kind of underwhelming. Like, if the Sven can get on top of you, he'll probably obliterate you in a few hits. Despite the fact that Death Pact obviously giving a lot of HP and bonuses like that, they just... yeah, it never really feels great playing up against a hero like Sven. But we'll see what Nemiga going to grab now as their third hero. I imagine they'll probably lead off with their position 4. It's actually going to be Rubik. Okay, so they've taken it themselves. That's a very early Rubik, actually, because so far, all Team Unique revealed is the Lina and the Night Stalker. Obviously, Lina, all of her spells are pretty nice to steal, really, so you don't mind too much about that. Night Stalkers aren't quite as potent, but, I mean, depends on the situation. Like, a Stealing the Silence could actually be quite nice. But even still, yeah, it feels very early to me. But actually, I suppose when you're picking a Rubik, you're also sort of deterring the opposing squad from picking up like those big teamfight ultimate abilities. Like the Tidehunter, which is the second most picked hero for Team Unique in this current patch. So maybe Nemiga have actually just read into that. And in a way, it's just going to counterpick that Tide from coming out. Or if they do still go for the Tide, then it doesn't feel as bad for Nemiga, because you could just steal the Ravage away. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. If that was actually their thinking to it. Or maybe they've got some like big off-lane pairing that they want to do with the Rubik. Normally, like the key heroes with him are like a Bloodseeker, but obviously that's already been banned out from Team Unique. Because normally you could just telekinesis someone back into the Blood Right, guarantee they get hit by the silence and the pure damage. But I wonder, yeah, they must have something else in mind. What some sort of other off-lane pairing that they want to roll with. And Team Unique are actually going to go with the Lifestealer and Lich pickup straight away. That is actually quite a scary safe lane coming out there from Team Unique. Like, you've got the nuke damage from the Lich, as well as the survivability of the Frost Shield, with the slow as well. Allows the Lifestealer to just be on top of someone, extra tanky, stealing life away. Yeah, that does sound like a pretty scary lane. If they like try and go for a play onto the Rubik, I'm not sure if there's much way that you can actually survive it. Especially if the Lifestealer just picks up like one early point in Rage, maybe like level 3 or something. Sounds strong. Maybe Nemiga might be able to pick up some sort of position 3 that can play up against this quite nicely, but already, versus a hero which has built-in magic immunity, it does limit your options. So things like a Mars and that just are going to feel very underwhelming now. Maybe they have to try and focus like a magic piercing ability. They actually go for the Razor. So that does actually solve the problem a little bit, because now he can just static link up the Lifestealer even if he's running at him, and you can just try and drain away all of the damage. So the Lifestealer's just tickler limit at the early parts of the game. So I think it's a pretty decent counter pick to it. I mean, it gives the Razor some safety, but unfortunately, the Rubik's not going to be so fortunate. The Rubik will probably still be in the danger zone. I mean, unless the Razor's going to come to his defense each time to static link up the Lifestealer and maybe force him away. That could be the play. Even still, I think Team Unique's safe lane is going to be pretty safe. But it looking like now both teams just after their mid laner. Unique actually ban out the Enigma. So are they thinking this is a mid Razor? I mean, it could be. It could very well be a mid-raiser. I'm pretty sure that Einkrad has ran it before in that position, but the Razor against the Lifestealer just makes more sense off the top of my head. Nemiga even taking away the Skywrath Mage. I guess with Team Unique's draft, it's that this Lina could still very well be their mid lane hero, and they're just looking for a different position for now. And Nemiga will actually have the advantage going into this. Sorry, Nemiga will actually have the advantage going into this final pick because they will actually get to see Team Unique's first. But the only downside is that they have no reserve time left. Well, they've got 2 seconds. 2 seconds. It's going to give them absolutely no time to really like think about how they want to respond to whatever Unique go with in the end. So their options will be limited quite severely. They even ban out the Monkey King as the final hero. Very interesting if they are going to be running this Lina in the mid lane, because Lina has like one of the longest attack ranges that you can actually have. So she should normally always be able to actually keep a decent distance away from the Monkey King to stop the Jingu stacks from coming online. Yeah. But even still, they do ban it. Nemiga even taking out the Queen of Pain there. What is their final hero going to be? I mean, Unique do have a fair bit of reserve time to work with still. Got 43 seconds in the bank. But no, they're not even going to touch it at all. Going in for the Wind Ranger now. That's going to be their mid lane. So now Nemiga have to respond to this Wind Ranger in the mid. Maybe Pugler could be kind of legit. I mean, it doesn't actually do very well against the Lifestealer, so never mind. It'll do fine in the lane, but apart from that, his effectiveness would drop off quite considerably. I don't know. I think he's going to be taken out on the opposite side. Actually, go for the Batrider. Yeah, that makes a good amount of sense. Obviously, the Wind Ranger will be able to avoid like the right-click damage with the Napalm stacks on him, but he won't be able to avoid the actual Firefly damage as well as the Flame and Lasso drag. So it's a lot of guaranteed damage for him. Actually, no, it's not even a mid Wind Ranger. It is actually the Lina going into the mid there for FN, and then Bignum taking the Wind Ranger for the position 4. Space on the safe lane, Petushara on the off lane, Night Stalker. Oh, there's actually a pause there as well. I didn't even realise that the game was paused. But yeah, I'm definitely happy they went with the offlane Razor. It makes a lot of sense. And we actually saw, it's a couple of days ago when I cast it, but Einkrad on this Batrider just absolutely destroyed people. I think it was when they were playing up against QWERTY. He just annihilated the opposing mid lane on this hero. Was doing a fantastic job on it. So I have to see maybe he's got the same show in this game. I mean, the lane up against Selena, as long as if you can evade the LSAs, he should be able to like try and harass out the Lina as much as possible. But again, like I was saying, where they banned out the Monkey King, the Lina obviously got a pretty long attack range. So as long as if FN just keeps constant tabs on how far away he is from Einkrad, he doesn't accidentally get too close, and just maybe Einkrad can go in for a sneaky Firefly play, I think he should be relatively safe in this lane. Especially because there's not a huge amount of rotational support action that can be coming out from Nemiga. I mean, the Rubik can come in, like, telekinesis toss the Lina back into the bat, and that can be kind of devastating. Sort of similar to Team Unique, like Bignum can rotate in, land a nice shackles, and then set up for an easy kill for FN. I'm sure that's probably what they're going to be doing eventually. You want to try and secure your mid laners game as much as possible, and then try and turn them into a big powerhouse for the rest of your team. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we did see some early rotations from the supports. Ooh. Fog was just on dire for some reason. Don't know why. Don't ask me. But even still, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for Nemiga versus Team Unique in the D2CL Season 3 2021 tournament. Still, like, this is day 6 of the groups. And at the moment, both of these two teams are tied 4 points. So, both of them looking to try and take the advantage, actually start pushing themselves up into like the top of positions of this tournament in the early stages, just to secure they make it to the group stage. The go was actually drawn on the map there from Eincrad before he actually asked the team, or before he said it in all chat. Very confusing.
The quest for ultimate glory.
Already an immediate tip there onto Slayer for some reason. Who knows why? But I mean, we've not been seeing a lot of First Blood plays either coming out from many teams so far. So maybe we might see one here. We've got all 5 members of Unique moving down the mid, and they actually waited for their smoke by the time they're by their tier 3s. Normally, if you wanted to use a smoke to get down an early ward, you would just pop it straight away and immediately make a beeline for the lane to get that ward down as fast as possible. But seeing as how they held onto it for so long, it makes me feel like they want to try and go for some sort of First Blood play. Spacer Slayer leading the charge. Their smoke immediately breaks. Lodine does get the spot. He has to immediately get himself out of there. The rest of the Nemiga are here to go for a spawn. It's going to be a big storm from Kirich. Gets the storm onto 3 as well as the plants fulfilled. Team Unique were not ready for this. The LSA is going to make some space, but even still, they take a lot of damage. Bignum just keeping himself at the backline to allow his team to disengage. But even still, Alucrad gets so many napalm stacks. Look at it. Everyone's so slow. And Nemiga still want to go for more. They're actually trying to split up now. And it looks like they will just sacrifice Slayer. And who actually is going to get the first blood here? And it will be Ironclad grabbing it. So Nemiga managing to respond to the first blood play coming out from Team Unique. Grabs it for themselves. It's very nicely played. And look at Bignum already putting down a sentry ward on the Ancient stack here. On the Ancient creeps. Just to make sure there's no stacks coming out from Nemiga the early parts of the game.
Bear witness will not soon forget that which transpires.
Kind of interesting that he would do it now. Because even though, like, obviously your supports are going to want to make some stacks for the Sven later on, it's not normally until about 3 minutes in, 4 minutes maybe, that the stacks normally start to get made, because the supports want to get some like early experience. So maybe we could have waited a little bit, because it's really going to be like 3 minutes effectiveness on this ward then. But even still, Unique are actually keeping 3 heroes at this top lane at the moment. Maybe they just want to try and go for some sort of first blood play. I think the Rubik was just spotted there from Slayer. Who's going to be the main target? Bignum. He's going to lead the charge. Immediately goes straight on top of the Chosen One. Everyone getting on top of him here. The Slow's going to be here. Bignum's going to try and do the body blocks. The Chosen One manages to slip past. He gets the Magic Stick pop, but it doesn't matter. Slayer secures it with the blast. So Unique not really getting the first blood they wanted, but hey, they're able to get a kill now. Obviously, it would have been really fantastic if Space could have been the one to get that kill. It looks like they might actually be sticking with a tri-lane here. Bignum isn't TPing back. They want to actually try and go for another kill into the Chosen One. If they can get him again, whilst his TP's on cooldown, they'll be able to really screw with his lane. But instead, it looks like Nemiga responding kindly there onto Slayer, do a lot of damage as well onto Bignum. So maybe they can't actually go for any sort of first blood play. Perhaps if they actually had Shackles rather than Windrun, it might have been possible. But even still, we'll see how Petushar is going to be able to function in the bot lane on his own. Luckily for him, there's only so much that an Omni Knight can really do to harass you out. But even still, we see Petushara really suffering on CS. Only 1-0 right now. Meanwhile, Kirich is 8-6, 9-6. So, able just to secure all the last hits and the vast majority of the denies as well to stop as much experience going towards Petushara as he possibly can. Finally, Bignum has come down here to help out his offlaner. Meanwhile, in the mid, it's 11-7 to FN to the 2-0 of Ironcrad. This man is being dominated in this lane. That is incredible. He was playing really well last time I watched, but it looks like he's needing some warm-up at the start. Only having 2 CS at 2 minutes in. He didn't even get that one. This is now the 4th creep wave, and he's only managed to take 2 out of the... what would it have been? 16 creeps. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. FN's just destroying him. 13-8. This is already going to be a humongous lead. Actually, in terms of net worth, it's only 100 gold. But he's already hit his level 4. He's over a half a level on top of the Bat Ride already. If Evan can keep this sort of progression up, he's going to really build up a humongous lead. And he even just denies the water rune there, just to guarantee that Einkrad doesn't get the bottle film from himself, realising that he was in a much better position than what the bat is. Especially seems like FN can actually rely on the magic sticks charges to get his game going. Minecraft's just still keeping chase here. Actually going to try and go for the Firefly play. The TP's coming in from Slayer. They want to try and turn this around. The LSA actually misses. The Frost Armor's maybe going to keep FN alive. He's just managed to get out of the radius, but it doesn't matter. He's got so many napalm stacks. He's going to tick down. Einkrad gets the kill. And Slayer does actually respond. All the rest of the Nemiga friendly tipping their teammate there. So well done actually getting that kill. As well as the fact that the TP from Slayer still came in. So nicely played for him. At least that's actually a fair bit of solo experience and gold for the position 5 though. So he might actually be able to put this to good use and give some further space for his lifestealer in this lane. But it's definitely what Einkrad needed to actually try and bring this lane into a little bit more of a favourable position for him. He's actually going to go for another play immediately again. The LSA this time from FN does get the connection and that will allow him to fall back. Look, Einkrad thought about carrying on going in there then. Both of them's just going to be able to get the free refill up on their bottles. Down the bot, Perishara is slowly starting to recover. 12 and 2 right now. Only just slightly behind his counterpart off lane or off the chosen one at the top, who's 13 and 5 himself. Just both of these two position ones are just doing a fantastic job so far at securing CS. 26 and 5 for Space, 23 and 10 for Kirich. It's a very nice start. Depends if they can keep it up though. But still, Einkrad, he got that kill, sure, but he's still at the bottom of CS for all the cores. At least he's actually somehow he's still second of net worth. I mean, actually, I suppose he got the first blood, didn't he? It looks like Slayer's just going to die here. Probably give another free kill over towards Einkrad. But yeah, of course, I completely forgot that the bat was actually the one at the start to get the first blood bonus. That is probably the only reason about why he had somewhat, why he's managed to keep pretty close with net worth to everyone else. Actually at the top now, despite having the worst CS of all the cores. Weird to see it working out that way, but hey, that's how it works. 3-1-0 on him. Every single kill that is on the Nemiga squad is from this Batrider. Slayer even coming in, just give free bottle refill there for FN. Ooh, misused the charge though. Ouch. I think FN was actually just like worming his way around, couldn't actually get on top of him properly. But both these guys are level 6 now. So possibly for like some big ultimate usage turnaround to net a free kill. We'll have to wait and see. Slayer wants to, I don't know, Slayer's positioned himself very aggressive in this lane. Maybe they just want to try and secure the bottom rune. And just running at him forces him away. Einkrad's going to try and make his way up towards the top rune perhaps. But actually does spawn at the bot there. Arcane rune as well for FN. Fantastic item for Alina. But now it looks like all the supports are starting to just roam around and help out the mid lane. Both the side lanes are just sort of left to their own devices. Off laner versus position 1. Oh, Rubik. Maybe going to get ran out of here. Space is coming in with the Frost Armor. The slows are so much. It's not really anything that Rubik can do. Even going to be the Sinister Gaze. Say pulling it in. It looks like he will be the first one to die though. Oh, Jesus, they nearly did get the kill. Maybe they thought the other one was going to tap it out. They're actually going to think about diving the tier 1 for there. Bignum does tank out a few of the shots with the Rim Run. But in comes the Dragoon Blade from FN to finish off the kill. Loading, unfortunately. TP to the wrong side of the tower. Or maybe it's the Razor ran to the wrong side. But he couldn't get the heal off. But that was the TP, I think, used from FN to get over there faster. So that's just left the mid lane open. Now, Slayer going to the bot with Petishara, trying to harass out Kirich. I don't think they really have any ways of grabbing this kill. And now Kirich thinking about turning around. Einkrad's TP in as well as the choice on the Plasfield just gets the connection. I think this is going to be a dead lich. Molotov gets the pool as well as the chosen one. With the static link, just gets the finish in a few hits. So another kill for Nemiga. A relatively active start to this game. 9 kills at 7 minutes 40 in. A lot of action been happening. It looks like FN is going to go for a standard mid-lane hero build, going immediately in for the bots. I wouldn't be too surprised if Uncrab is doing the same. Yes, he is. And they've pretty much got the same sort of progression to it, only 30 gold difference between the two. But obviously FN did actually commit a little bit more gold to getting the magic wand. Which is why his net worth is just slightly higher. Kirich actually moved himself up towards the top lane now. Maybe thinking that bot lanes is a little bit too hot, too much action going on that he couldn't just successfully free farm away. And it's not really too much the solo lifesteal is going to be able to do to actually pressure him that much. So I think it's going to feel like a relatively safe lane for him to farm. We'll see if maybe Unique want to try and make him regret that decision. Net a free kill perhaps. Depends if they want to make the move or not.
Scanning for enemies.
Not gonna happen.
Kirichi getting the possessed mask, the perfect item for a carry, keep him sustained while he's farming. With the Godstrain Column, we're easily able to take this triple stack, I think it was. Gives him a massive bit of a gold injection. Second place now in terms of net worth. I'm not sure how quickly that Sentry Wall got denied then. So it was there for a little bit. With the first time this game, got a bit of a calm across the battlefield. I say that, Einkrad trying to go for kill the bat, and that is just the perfect response. What can he do? The AoE silence, just the perfect counter to a bat when they're trying to get the kill onto you. No way you can flame and lasso. Really well read there from the Night Stalker. Petushara. And even going in for the Echo Saber first item as well. I think it's an item he's picked up a couple of times before in the past. I guess it must work out enough for him to just carry on committing for that build. A lot of heroes from Unique coming up towards the top. They tried making it go for the Razor there, but he's easily able to get the vision on it. Seems how it was daytime. Oh, a couple of TPs going down to the bot. They want to help out Petushara. Was getting gone on there from the Batrider, but they couldn't have enough damage. Even with the Flame and Lasso was actually used, but still Petushara was able to survive it. Has to run all the way back to base though. So it hinders his farming speed a little bit, especially seeing as how he is the poorest of all the cores. Only 3.3k to his name. Like the Rubik only is behind him by 500 gold.
Illusion.
Now with the cap away, it looks like Unique going to be able to get this kill onto the tower. He'll go get the free kill onto Lodine here as well. It looked like he was sticking around just a little bit too long to maybe try and defend it.
What a punk.
But ends up, yeah, just giving away a kill, giving away a tower as well to FN. So a nice bit of gold going in towards the Lina. And what is actually going to be, now he's got the bots. What's he building into? Got Ogre Axe. I'm going to assume that he's going to turn this into just a flat out BKB.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm not quite sure what else Alina would really use an Ogre Axe for.
Dire's top tower has
But still, Nemiga do find the tier 1 at the top lane. Just leveling the playing field. You take one of ours, we'll take one of yours.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, it looks like Einkrad made the wrong turn in here. Just runs into 3 members of Unique and just gets demolished. Maybe now this could be an opportunity for Unique to try and take this tier 1 tower. They've got 4 heroes here. It looks like they're probably going to try to. We'll see if Nemiga's going to decide to put up much of a response to keep this allowable. Petushara to walk up into the high ground, run straight into both Kirich as well as the Chosen One. And ends up just giving away a free kill. And that in itself is just going to put an end to the possible tier 1 push there from Unique. They have to fall back. Especially seems how the bat is just about to respawn. Couldn't afford to take a fight with the numbers not in their favour. Space got a Sanj queued up. I guess he's going to turn this into an S and Y. He doesn't actually have the Asher queued up yet. But there's not too much else that a Lifestealer can change the Sanj into. That's me. I mean, it could possibly be turned into a Heaven's Halberd. Maybe. I mean, it is kind of a good item up against the Sven for sure. But it'd feel weird buying it on your position 1. That'd be an item that Petishara could probably buy instead. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an S and Y. There's no reason not to. Standard Lifestealer item.
Purification.
4 heroes in Nemiga up at this top lane as well now. Petishara's got to be careful. He's actually going to pop his ultimate and try and turn onto the Batrider here. But even the immediate Omni Knight ultimate as well. Nemiga do not want to take this fight. Going in full retreat. The stun actually does get stolen there from the Rubik. And as it's nighttime, it lasts a pretty long time on the slow. Loading's still going to end up dropping down here. Petishara's got to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage. Another little mini stun up here for the Rubik. Not going to be enough to get the kill. But Nemiga actually going to turn around here. The immediate stun onto FN as well as the plasma field. The focus on towards FN. He's taking a lot of damage. But even so, he's able to get himself to the trees. Ironclad actually ends up dying. Able to find the kill onto Petishara at least. But even still, the turnaround is going to be enough. Hello, Kirich. He does get the kill onto Slayer at least. And it looks like maybe that's going to be enough. They even find Bignum. And then even the Flame Elastic get the grab onto Space. They take him down as well. FN, the only survivor there for Team Unique. It started off really, really well there for the Team Unique. But unfortunately for them, Nemiga was able to turn around and just destroy him in that engagement. The fight recap isn't popping up for some stupid reason. I would like to see what actually happened. I think there was a buyback. There's 2 buybacks actually. The Bat as well as the Omni Knight came back in for that one. So they lost the Omni, the Rubik, and the Bat with a buyback on 2 in exchange for 4 heroes. I mean, it was actually the Lifestealer that died in that whole engagement as well. So maybe those 2 buybacks would actually be worth it at this stage. Obviously, it's just going to hinder Einkrad's game a little bit more, having to fork out the gold for that buyback situation. But I mean, hey, it paid off in the end. Allowed them to net a few more kills. I've got to quickly check my mic settings because I just whacked my mic. Yeah, I thought so. I think I subtly unplugged it. The silence will go in just a second. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, if I did change any of the audio settings, I should have fixed it now, in case things did start to sound weird on the stream. There you go. I thought it might have done it. But even still, I didn't really miss anything. Apart from that was 3-man smoke coming out here from Nemiga. Kirich leading the charge. Slayer's just going to walk straight into him. Actually, Blink Dagger's right behind him with the ultimate pop. Just cleans him up in a second. But now Petishara is going to go on top of the Omni Knight. Maybe they can try and grab this kill at least. Well, the stun does get the connection, neither does the power shot, but I think Petishara is still going to be able to get this finish here. A couple more right clicks, all they need. I mean, Slayer did actually buy back for that, though. So maybe they need to try and take some sort of objective off of this. I mean, the Omni is actually dead for an extremely long time because he brought back in that last fight. So they do have this 5 versus 4 situation for another 30 seconds. They take down the tier 1. But it doesn't look like they want to go for Roche or anything like that. Instead, they're going to move the unit into the Radiant jungle. Maybe they can get a catch onto Kirich if he steps out of position and tries going deeper in the jungle to farm up. I mean, they do actually have a jungle in their own... a ward in their own jungle, sorry. So I don't know if they actually got the vision onto anyone walking around there. But even still, they evade the whole situation. It looks like maybe Nemiga want to start trying to take down this tier 1 tower themselves. It is pretty low on HP. And it doesn't look like there's any members from Team Unique that can even bother coming over to the area to try and defend it. They will just let it fall by the looks.
All ones will break. Little hope for Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, no one even going to come to even attempt to deny. Just going to let it fall completely for free there. Meanwhile, Kirich just going to carry on farming up. Now pretty much 2,000 gold over the top of the Lifestealer. I mean, that is just going to be expected. The farming speed of a Sven is always going to just be naturally better than a Lifestealer unless they like build a Maelstrom or anything like to ramp up their farm. Aincrad maybe under trouble here. The Shackle actually does get the connection there through the trees. So I think it's just going to be a dead bat with the pullback and the silence. No hope in hell for Aincrad there. Fortunately, Slayer is the one that finds kill. I swear this Lich has been finding loads of these kills. He's got 3 of them. 3, 6, and 7. He's nearly got 100% kill participation as well for his team. He's definitely always been in the right place at the right time. It is also over half the deaths for this team as well at the same time. That happens. Position 5 life. Kirich blinked off to the side there, but it looks like Team Unique not going to bother going for that kill. We'll just settle for Lodine instead. Who just gets the kill to the Sensual before he dies. You know there's like no way he's going to survive that situation, so you may as well just get something out of it. I mean, that Sentry Ward kept his own Sentry Ward alive. Maybe that'll play some big effect later on in the game. You never know. Still, we see Aincrad definitely dropping off right now. Only 7,200 gold to his name. Meanwhile, FN, the opposite mid laner, 3,000 gold over the top of him right now. BKB and Chrysalis in tow. And going in for the Lincoln Sphere next. Going to be a pretty good way of keeping himself alive from the back rider. The Flame and Lasso is not going to be an easy screw him over. And the only other targetable spells are Stormhammer, Telekinesis, and Arcane Bolt. So all skills that are actually quite nice to dodge. So very worthwhile item pickup this game. There's nothing like an Arc Lightning or anything like that that can easily just dispel it and just feel like a massive waste of gold. There's like Kirich. About to finish up his BKB. Oh, no. I thought he had finished it. Yeah, he had finished it. Okay, he just brought it all out now. So now with this BKB completed, looks like 3 of them are grouping up here, pinging out on Aincrad to join them. So they're going to go for a 4-man smoke play with this new item here. And we'll see what they're going to be able to do with it. Meanwhile, Unique have actually gone for a smoke of their own. They're just going to get right behind Unique here. They're not going to be expecting this. The smoke's about to break there onto Slayer as he sees Aincrad off to the side. And Kirich even blinked down on top of him there. This is the dead Lich for sure. Everyone else on the side of Unique just completely disperses in different directions. But Aincrad, he's found the +1 grab here onto Bignum. This is going to be more than enough to get that free kill. Even the long use sinister gaze there from the Rubik. Guaranteed a lockdown. But I mean, it's just 2 supports that die for that. But even still, it was a smoke on smoke fight. 2 deaths is still worse than none. Maybe FN going to get potentially grabbed here. No, he has that BKB using that first fresh 9-second usage just to evade death there. Even still, what the items for? I'll say the same for Space though. Look at there's so much damage coming out. Space is trying to get disengaged. He will get the rage off. Is he meant to get inside the creep? He does. He infests into the Centaur. He gets the stun onto Kirich. He's still just going to try and run away. I think it's just a matter of delaying the inevitable here. As it will die. He's still not got another couple of seconds left for his rage to finish up. Another Sinister Gaze pullback. Space is trying to juke out this as much as he can with the armlet toggles. Maybe he wants to die to the tower. No. The Rubik is not going to let that happen. Finish him up with the Arcane Bolt. Or Fade Bolt. And they take down Space. So I mean, they definitely made him work for it for sure. There's a lot of heroes committed to get the kill onto the Lifestealer. But I mean, that's still a kill onto the position 1. You'll take that any day. Still around this sort of 2,500 gold separation between the 2 of them. Kirich even going in for the Monkey King bar as his next item, which is very interesting, to be honest. Is it literally just for Bignum? Do you care that much? Normally an MKB isn't really a hero that an item that a Sven likes to build. So if you can avoid it it's always preferable. Maybe it's also for the potential of the level 20 talent there for space as well. The 16% evasion chance, if he would even go for that one. I imagine he probably would actually. I don't know. Seems kind of interesting. We'll see how it works out though. Obviously, it's just a nice source of damage either way. Damage and attack speed.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Petishar is still trying to build into his own BKB, although he's quite a large chunk of gold away from it at the moment. Ooh, meanwhile, Einkrad finds a solo kill there onto Bignum. This is the position 4, but hey, a kill's a kill. May as well use that ultimate when it's off cooldown. Don't really have to wait for some sort of big teamfight playthrough, wait for it to go for initiation or anything like that. Meanwhile, it looks like Kirich feeling he can try and take Roshan with the dodge strength following the attack speed, all the bonuses that the Omnight is able to give him. I mean, this guy hit him for like 600 damage a hit. It's pretty damn monstrous. But then the ultimate from Petushara immediately scares Nemiga to just fall back and go for a smoke play. Maybe they want to try and re-engage. Einkrad does find the initiation onto FM, but he doesn't actually have that Flaming Lasso to use. Instead, actually, Petushara jumps in the backlines, focuses onto Sports, but it doesn't matter. Kirich just annihilates Slayer. Einkrad also finishing off FN. This is a complete terrible situation here for Unique. Space actually has to infest into Bignum to try and get himself out of here. And Space is like, cheers for the lift, mate. I'm off. See you later. And maybe he's not going to make it far. Kirich just focuses on Swim. He doesn't give a crap about the Batrider. Petushara dies somewhere else off in the map. But meanwhile, Nemiga just want to get this kill onto Space if they can. Plasma Field just coming off cooldown now. And he gets him mid-armlet toggle. Another 4 deaths for Team Unique. They don't find anything in return. And now Nemiga just going to roll straight back into the Roche pit. I would have... Maybe they could have actually just pressured the tier 2 a little bit, forced the glyph and then gone Roche. Because if it is on half HP, so I'm not sure if there really would have been anything that Unique could have been able to do to stop it. They went for the global wins. I never really see this shard, man. Gale Force. It's interesting. It's kind of cool. I've seen it in conjunction with the Enigma shards, where the black hole has a pulse pulling people in. You use that one with the Gale Force, and there's literally no way people can avoid it. They are all pulled into the black hole. I'd love to see that used as an actual combo in like a professional game. It's kind of janky, but it would be kind of sweet.
You are a true friend.
Does it also work on teammates, or is it just on enemies? Yeah, it's...
Illusion. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, just enemies. Maybe if it works with teammates, you could actually use it offensively as well. Like, give your team all a big speed boost, you push the wins in the direction you all want to go. That could be kind of a cool change. But obviously, it could be like a real big grief skill as well. You can just imagine people just tilting their teammates just by pushing in the wrong direction the whole time.
Dire's tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is
Even still, Nemiga able to find the free tier 2 at the top. Maybe Unique might be able to get a tier 2 themselves at this bot lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Nemiga are going to try and defend it at all. They will just let it fall. And we'll just see an even trade of outposts across the map as well. I mean, it's definitely Nemiga that have the advantage going in for the next team fight with the Aegis in the hands of Kirich here. It's already a difficult kill to find with the Omni Knight behind him. Now it's just even harder. Working in towards the Silver Edge as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's decide to buy the Chrysalis first. I wonder if we'd actually upgrade that into the straight up Daedalus, or maybe still going for the Silver Edge. Or is actually that the new part of Silver Edge? I can't remember. They did change the item around a little bit, didn't they? So is that its build? Yeah, it is. It was before it was Echo Saber, wasn't it? Okay. Patch notes, man. Patch notes. Too many changes to keep track of. Gets confusing.
is under attack.
Despite the fact that Nemiga do have the advantage going into the next fight, it does look like they're too eager to force the issue. They're just going to happily sit back and carry on just farming up and progressing their next items. I mean, there is still a humongous rift between the Sven and the Lifestealer, so 5,000 gold. But he is immediately followed by two of the main cores on the side of Unique. FN just a couple of thousand gold behind him, actually. As this laner is going to be a very disgusting right-clicker. And we nearly got her own Daedalus as well, only about 1,200 gold away. And then there's going to be a pretty massive power spike for the side of Team Unique. Anyone they get hold of, they'll probably shred in a couple of hits. Well, not in a couple of hits, but in a few seconds. Even if it might be Kirich, probably die to that.
Fear nothing.
Still AC though. Completed for space with Armlet and a Sanj. Got the Basher queued up next. Both would actually go straight in for the Abyssal perhaps. Maybe. I mean, their whole squad is actually lacking some sort of magic immune pierce and disable. So that would actually be quite nice. Seems how Kirich's got BKB, the Bat's got a BKB. Imagine, yeah, even the Chosen One has one. So all three cores on the side of Nemiga do have that magic immune protection. So having some way of actually locking them down will pay off very, very nicely. Just depends how quickly he's going to be able to get that, though, as Nemiga are once again going for another 4-man smoke. Just Krad's the only one that's left out of it for now.
Money to burn.
Looks like they found the grab onto Bignum. Not like it's the most high impact kill catch in the game, but hey, it's something. It's another hero taken off the map. Gone for 40 seconds. Space actually just immediately panics as soon as he sees the bat. Goes to the Rage TP. The Aegis now just timing out there for Kirich. So that sort of big teamfight advantage they did have has now just expired. And just everyone on the side of Unique, realising that this move was coming out after seeing the Bignum just get melted, TP's back to the base. And now just making their own little sort of defensive high ground posture here. Maybe they might go for a smoke play themselves. I'm sure they know that the Aegis has now timed out. Maybe they might just be waiting for Bignum to respawn and then they might go for that play. Basher just been delivered there for space. So just a little minor power spike. Meanwhile, the same with Kirich though, has his silver edge. And going in for the AC next. Daedalus now just online for FN.
The armor of omniscience.
Now we've got a 4-man smoke coming out from the side of Unique here. Which way are they actually going to go? Looks like they draw a line across the map to go through the jungle towards the top. Looks like instead they're going to change their mind. Maybe they want to get the wraparound to the Chosen One. They see him farming up in this mid, but they've got to be careful. Because the entire team of Nemiga are sat right behind him. Now Kirich charged forward. He actually pops the smoke onto a few of them. They pop down the sentry. They can see he's here, but immediately Page jumps in the back lines where the Flame Lasso comes out, gets the grab onto FM before he can try and go for the stun block. And that's it. The leader's gone. That's pretty much the entire source of physical damage coming out from Team Unique already in the grave. Spaces has to go for the Rage TP out. He cannot afford to stick around. They did get the trade onto Lodi at least there from Unique. The Gale Force of Bignum trying to make some space for him to carry on his retreat. Even Petishara just running the complete opposite direction there to give him some safety. And the rest of them managed to make it out. But even still, it's another 2 kills for Nemiga. And getting that high value one of the Lena as well. The highest farmed core on the side of Team Unique. And that was going to be the Daedalus reveal for her as well. So if they didn't get that initiation there, like the Bat Rider Flame Lasso into the Stormhammer, maybe that would have gone a little bit different there. But Nemiga just got the first jump. And that's what a lot of these fights come down to. Who can get the correct initiation first? As it is sort of what Unique are lacking. They don't have any great instant catch and disable. Like, the Petishara can blink on top of someone with the silence, but as I said before, all 3 cores on the side of Nemiga have BKBs, so it's very, very easy to evade that sort of initiation. And the only other stuns they have are the Shackles from Bigland, which you can react to quite easily. Similar sort of situation there with the LSA. Like, you can see it coming, so you have the chance to actually pop that BKB in time. The only thing that they can't react to is the Sinister Gaze from Slayer. But in order for that to work, Slayer has to be in the front lines. And that's never really a place a Lich wants to be in. He wants to be sat behind all the rest of his calls, just chucking out his spells from afar. And be kept as safe as possible. So maybe that could just be like a potential error in the draft from Nemiga, perhaps. Yeah, I wasn't sure if FN actually finished the Lincoln. So what popped his Lincolns in that last fight then? For that Flaming Lasso to get the grab? I don't actually know. What? Unless the Stormhammer never actually got the connection, the Stormhammer broke the Lincolns, and then the Lasso came in? Was that what happened? Oh, unless Ironcrab with the big brain plays used the Force Staff on the Lina first. That could have been what happened there. But even still, Nemiga once again into the Roche Pit. And it's dropping down so goddamn quick. And this Jeopardy is already off the board yet again. Aegis and Shard now into the hands of Nemiga. Also giving the Shard towards the Rubik as well. So now they've got the potential to do the friendly toss back. To either bring someone to safety or use it aggressively and net a few extra kills. Still has actually Rage stolen as well. How does the amplification work with that? Does it increase the duration? Stolen debuff amp. It's not a debuff, so that wouldn't do anything. Does spell amplification make a difference to that? So 26%. So in theory, it should increase the duration to like 7.5 seconds. Maybe you might actually use it, and I can't even like. Normally in game you could shift alt click these, and it would give you more detailed information about when the timer would run up, but can't do that when you're in Dota TV. It still looks like Nemiga want to try and go for the first high ground siege of the game here. They got the double catapult wave. Kirich leading the charge. There is a glyph available though for Team Unique. Then at the same time, Nemiga could just drop the aggressive glyph themselves to keep this all alive. And still, Frost Armor does a fantastic job of keeping it all going. Now the glyph will get forced as the God Strength from Kirich was popped. And now the TP come back in there from Petishara. Both teams have got all 5 heroes gathered up in this vicinity. I think a fight is brewing. And Kirich, look where he is. Hiding behind the backlines. They actually pinged him out. I'm not sure how they saw him in there. Maybe actually the reveal from the tower got the spot? I'm not sure, but even still, Kirich pops out, finishes the tower. The rest of Unique, or some of them actually gone for a smoke play. Maybe they want to try and wrap around the outside. Even to pop the Night Stalker on, but immediately Nemiga, they're like, yep, everyone just TP out. Get out. No reason to stick around. Looks like Ironcrad might be the potential one to fall here. The Gale Force not going to be enough to hold them all back. So Petishara just has to settle for the kill onto the courier. So very nicely played from Nemiga yet again. They get the tier 3 and the ranged barracks completely for free. And they managed to fall back before any sort of main response could come about. Didn't even have to use a single one of their BKBs in that situation. So keeping all the cooldowns as healthy as they possibly can.
Flesh sustains, gold remains.
Oh, but it looks like actually Unique maybe found the jump onto Choson with the BKB. Easy to turn around. Like I said, that side doesn't do anything against that situation. Kirich jumps in there. The BKB gets popped in Petishara. It doesn't last very long. And now the ult from the Omni Knight reduces all this physical damage, which is pretty much the entirety of Team Unique at the moment. The ult from the Lich is actually bouncing around, but now the BKBs get popped to Kirich line crowd, avoiding all of that. Space falls as well as Unique. A Unique Slayer. FA gets caught by the LSA as well as BKBs on cooldown. He can't escape from this one. A follow-up stun, a follow-up telekinesis, and a follow-up death. Another 4 kills on Nemiga. This time, not even dropping a single support. A GG's called. Team Unique, they tap out already. They just know. They just know that there's no way they can bring this game back. I mean, they can. It really. Oh, well, I mean, it's hard to. As I was saying, just a lot of their lineup don't really have many decent ways of getting that much of a catch, and they didn't even have like any big team fight almost they could try and like rely on to switch the teams around, like turn the fights around or such. So yeah, they just see no hope. And they don't see any reason to carry on playing, so they tap out. So well played to Nemiga, taking that game number 1. Didn't seem super dominant, but definitely was schooling on them a little bit that game. So well played to them. If you enjoyed this cast, then please follow me on my Twitch, Twitter, my YouTube. Any help I get, I thoroughly appreciate. And yeah, game number 2 will be coming up pretty soon, so I will see you all there for that.